Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
Always, man. Great, great. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing absolutely great. I hope everyone took that challenge last week. It should be ending up today, that 7-day challenge, where you come on, man, and you take on something that you've been dealing with, something you've been procrastinating about, or something that you've been trying to spark in your life. Every first full week of the month, we'll take that 7 days, man, and we'll begin to work on whatever it is, because a lot of times we don't get certain things done because we be procrastinating about certain things. So I hope everyone challenge is going well. So as you come in, family, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. And coach, I want to talk to you today about what happened to the Black community. I want to talk to you about that. And I want to share this because you and I talked about this a little bit. When I go out there and I ask for the likes and the share and to subscribe to the channel, I want people to understand that me and my family, we good. We real good, as a matter of fact. I do this because I'm trying to help other people. And this is going to kind of address what we're talking about now, because I'm already trying to get the subscriptions up. I'm trying to get the likes up. I'm trying to get it so it could be shared to our people. I don't get paid by YouTube. So if I can get it to the point where I can get paid by YouTube, then that's good. But the most important part and the most important thing to me is if we subscribe to the channel, if we like the channel, if we share the information, then it moves out so more people can hear it. Our people need to hear this information. And so I looked out and I see that someone had unsubscribed, is what I saw. And I would love for anyone who would unsubscribe, I would love for you to send me a comment. You can shoot it to my email, or you can put it out there for everyone to see that the information that we are putting out for us to help each other, for us to help ourselves, what was said for you to unsubscribe when we're only putting out something positive. I would love to just hear that. You're not hurting me. I want you to understand that when you unsubscribe, you're not hurting me. Don't think you're hurting me. I'm trying to get this information out to more people. And the more people we get to subscribe and build the channel, then our people can get this information. So I want everyone to understand that I don't get paid by YouTube. So you're not hurting me when you unsubscribe. You really hurt our people, because our people are the ones who need this information. I don't need it. I give it. So, Coach, I want to talk to you about what has happened, man. When I look around, and like I say, I spend a lot of time now, and really for the last 37 years, going back into certain communities that a lot of us have moved out of, and we have no concern of going back in trying to help our people come out of it. And so I want to break it down. And first, when I speak of the word happen, meaning to come about, to take place, or to occur. So, what happened, and how did we get in the position that we are in today? Because as a people, whether you know it or not, we are in a bad position. We're always at the bottom. And what happened for us to be at the bottom? Well, from my perspective, we definitely have to go back in history. And I'm gonna let you give yours, Coach. When we, as a people, when you study, you go back in history, when we as a people, we treated each other with no respect. It started from the beginning. It started with us treating each other bad. So rock with me, because right now today in 2024, we still right now today are treating each other bad. And then when status, religion, and politics, it came in, it began to divide us. Remember that. Even right now today, I want to deal with history, and I want to show you how from way back then, how it has come up to 2024, and we're still dealing with the same things. Status, us thinking that we all are this and that, or being put in certain positions, or have gotten certain positions, religion and politics, how it has, as a people, how it has divided us. And these are facts. I don't see why you will unsubscribe from facts. That's why earlier I said, you got to let me know. I don't care about you unsubscribing, but share with me why you are unsubscribing. That's what, because we're not subscribing and we're not sharing the information. I mean, that's to be seen. So I would like to know, for the ones who do subscribe, why not when we giving out this information? And by us being divided, watch this right here, it was easier for us to be conquered as a people, because now we're divided. And now we have lost our identity of who we are. So let's bring it a little further up to where in some places we were being ruled and enslaved by what you would call the white man. Now here's the psychological damage to our mental state and to us feeling emotionally inferior. It's still going on right now today in 2024. And we suffer right now today from those things. So with treating each other bad from the beginning, from being divided, psychologically damaged, and feeling inferior, when you take a minute and look at it, just take a minute and look at it, it shows you what has happened to the Black community. If you just take a minute and look at some of the things I just said, when you see a lot of killing and disturbing behavior in our community, that's our psychological damage on display. Now you see it, you see us acting out. And here's the greatest design that was ever created. Coach, here's the greatest design that was ever created, and that's religion and politics. Because they keep us divided, and we will never come together as a people because of our differences in beliefs, not facts. It's not that we won't come together because of facts. We won't come together because of beliefs. That's the greatest and the most tragic design that has ever happened to us as a people. And you may not believe this, but a lot of us reach a certain status to compassion and concern have been just truly sucked out of us. Some of us get to a certain point in life, a certain place in life, and I've dealt with us for so many years, till we literally, we have no concern for nobody else but ourselves until certain things hit our doorstep. Now we want to show that, you know, we are human now, we're human, and we're looking for compassion and concern. But as long as it seems like things are going good in our own life, we have no concern and no compassion for others. And I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna share this right here. And I deal with this a lot. A lot of us are being ruled by money. It's our God. It's one of the biggest problems that we're having in the Black community. And when you are ruled by money and it's your God, it makes you a dangerous person. It makes you a very dangerous person, whether you have a lot of money or whether you just have a little money. It puts you in the same position, because whether you have a lot or a little, you can't be trusted. You cannot be trusted when you are ruled by money and God is your money. And I'm gonna stop right there. And then when I come back, I'm gonna let you go in and I'm gonna bring it up just a little further and take us into the 70s. So, Coach, I ask you this question. What you think happened to the Black community and why we're in the position that we're in today?
I think it's a plethora of things, man. There's so many ways you can go. But if you look around and see that you're in a predicament, just like, well, most of us in a predicament, because like so some of us are doing great, according to society standard. But if the majority of us are not, then we're not doing great. But to this day and age, I mean, a lot you said rang true to jump on that, but moving forward in this day and age, even if you don't know all the things you just spoke about, someone don't know that. They got eyes they can see, you know. What do you do to get out of this predicament? First of all, do you think you are in a predicament? Because it's subjective. Some people might figure, well, that's how it is for us. That's how it is for my folks, so I'm gonna roll with it. It is what it is. Do you believe you deserve better? You know, and if you believe you deserve better, then how you going about creating better for yourself? Because it's hard for you to try to create better for someone else when you in dire straits, when you struggling. So how do you create better for yourself? I always say now more than ever before, we don't have any excuse. Know what transpired. We know what it is. We know you live in a society where, you know, number one is capitalism. It's about the money. But life is more to life than just money. The majority of people that struggle and suffering look like you. So how do you navigate yourself to get out of that? Everything you want to learn, man, good, bad, in between, is a click away. It's a click away. You got to believe that you deserve better. I don't care what comes down your way. You got to believe you deserve better. Once you believe that, any man and woman in marriage, once you believe that, you look at yourself, you believe that, you can start moving differently. You can think differently first of all, you can start moving differently. So even though the majority of people might be, in dire straits, you can pull yourself out of that and still help those, who are in dire straits. We can't undo the past, but we sure can change the present as well as the future. You know, I find it hard to believe, like I said, today, this day and time, man, people, I understand it's hard and I understand history, but I don't understand the lack of motivation to do better or that you deserve better. I don't understand it. So I'm come to the conclusion maybe some people are fine where they are. I know it's hard to believe, but what else can I come up with? You know, you don't have everything you need to change the situation, but I believe once you start moving the direction where you see yourself ought to be, things gonna happen. I believe it, you know. So history play a part, but we can't change history. Like I said, we can only change the present and future, and that's what you got to focus on. Before you go into a neighborhood, but you call it a community back then, and you have an elder or two, name ring a bell, everybody know who that is, whatever. You know what I mean? they can galvanize their community. You don't have that now. Each man and woman for themselves, basically. That's what it is, you know. And the way things are looking financially, economically, like I always say, I think it's going to get worse. I think it's going to get worse. Maybe we haven't hit the wall hard enough to bring us together. Because like I said, something got to happen so drastic that we had no choice but to realize we all that we got. Sad, but that's what I see, man. That's what I see. So I know about history and all of that, but I'm not going to let history deter how my present going to be, and certainly not my future. You know, I'm not going to do that. Nah, I deserve better, and I'm going to move accordingly. And I, advise anyone, no, it's never too late to start, man. But you got to believe you deserve better. You got to believe that, you know. If you buy into what people say about you and think about you, then I can understand why you are where you are. But you got to believe that you deserve better, you know. People, places, and things. People, places, and things. You got to, if you keep that in mind, you know what's holding you back or what's propelling you forward. People, places, and things. You got to decide which is good for you. You know exactly what's good for you. So that's on you, man.
Okay. And I would say this right here. The reason that history is so important for today is because we're dealing with a mindset. And when we're dealing with that mindset that has been going for generation after generation after generation after generation, when that enslaved mindset was instilled into our people and their children and then their children. So that's what we're dealing with. Today, to say, well, I'm just going to break out of that mindset, it's hard to do unless you learn how to activate and reprogram yourself mentally. And a lot of us do not know how to do that. Even though we're in 2024, I'm telling you, a lot of us still have a 1620 mindset. That's why history is so important, because even today, we're still living a 1620 mindset. And so trying to show you that we need to be reprogrammed and you don't have to live that same mindset is what I'm trying to get over to us now. That you don't have to be psychologically damaged if you get help, or if you mature, or if you advance from 1620. But a lot of us are still living a 1620 mindset. And that's one of the biggest problems that we're having in the Black community. And that's why I say you can go way back in history. You can even go back to Musa Mansa, Mansa Musa, whatever his name was. And you can see during that time how we enslaved our own people, how we treated our own people. That group of people who was treating us bad has come through generations of their children, their children has been picking up that same mindset on how to treat your own people bad, even up to today. That same mindset, we got to work on changing that mindset. So when you look and you see us treat each other a certain way, I'm not surprised, because it comes from history. We got to work on reprogramming and changing that mindset. When I talk about religion and politics, that's history. that has hurt us in the past, and in 2024, it still hurts us because we still have that same mindset. We're always back then they had us waiting on a savior or someone to come and save and help us. Back then, the reason it's so important because right now, today in 2024, we're still waiting on a savior and we're still waiting on someone to come and help us. That's the problem we're having because we're still mentally stuck in the past. You can't get around the mind, the body, and the soul. That's our foundation of life. And a lot of us don't understand that you can't get around it. And what we're discussing right now today, Coach, we're discussing our mental state. And the reason that the past is so important is because we're still conducting ourselves as if it's 1620. And just like you just said, now today is so much information, is this, is that. Yes, it's out there for you now. But it's just like the religious group of people. It's too much information out there now to debunk a lot of things that our ancestors didn't have. But we still have the same mindset that our ancestors had. Do you understand?
I mean, I got what you're saying. I got it, but
You got it. Come on
I'm
in.
also I'm also saying that okay, let's say you don't know as a black man, black woman, you don't know your past. You don't know your past. All you know is what's going on now
Okay.
and what you're trying to do for the future. That's all you know. You can't tell me that when you look around, and I'm talking about look around, I'm talking about literally, figuratively, when you observe what's going on around, you can't say, wait a minute, something ain't right about this. And what is sad, I'm talking about not only in this country, I'm talking around the world. The people look like us.
Mm-hmm.
When you come up to that, man, something ain't right with this. What do you do then? Do you just say something ain't right and then that's it? It is what it is. That starts with you right there. What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Now, if you leave it, apparently a lot of people just say, man, it is what it is because, give that typical example, look at the response,
Mm-hmm.
right? Certain topics, whatever you like, wait a minute, really? And you know what I mean? Really? Okay. So maybe most people think that it's not an issue, or if it's an issue, then just what it is. That's it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going off of the lack of response and what I'm saying. And we always talk about certain things you can't talk to certain people about because they will look at you clueless, like, man, what are you talking about? You know,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't gotten there yet for whatever reason. I don't know. It's coming. They're coming later or what? I don't know, man. But a lot of people have not gotten there yet. They're so uh, overwhelmed, I guess, with now the tangible things. I don't know if they're using the tangible things to block out that reality, you know, to act like it doesn't exist. I don't know, man, but that's what I'm experiencing personally, you know. And like I said, you come on here, you see the view, and you see like, wow, okay, that's what it is, then that's what it is. But still got to do what we got to do. You know what I mean?
Yep. And we definitely gonna do that. We're gonna put this information out and to just piggyback on you say, well, what if the person don't know their history? Then that may be a person that if they don't know it, and if you see that they're seeing some type of awareness, like you saying, well, why this going on or why this going on, That might be a person who's willing to program into a positive state of mind. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I don't want it. And I'm dealing with that mind of the person. Say if they don't know their history and they can be experiencing something, they don't even understand that they could be dealing mentally with something that happened from their past. And they don't even understand, why am I so submissive? Why am I caught up in religion? Why am I caught up in politics? That's why last week when we was talking about why, it's a reason. And a lot of us just haven't sit down to ask ourselves why. That's why we have to be reprogrammed, because coach, a lot of things that are happening to us right now, and the reasons that a lot of us are in certain positions and what's happening to us as a people, when you really sit down and think about it, it's coming from history. It's coming
Yeah,
from history.
I got you. But let me ask you this.
Yes,
let
sir.
me put this in there right there. If tomorrow, let's say tomorrow, there is a facility that most of us can go to. I'm a legit facility. Most of us can walk in there and be reprogrammed.
Okay.
How many of us you think would walk in there to be reprogrammed?
A lot of us, a majority is not walking in because a majority, they don't see that something is wrong.
And not only that, when you're reprogrammed, you have to move differently. You can't be the same you. Some people are so comfortable being them, they don't want to change. Yeah, I know it's like someone talking, every time you talk to them, you're talking about the same problem. Even though you get them a solution, they're talking about the same problem. Man, what do you want from me? I'll give you the solution. So what do you want? Some people are like that, you know. Some people are like that. So that's why I asked that. But go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it all comes from here.
Yeah, yeah.
See, we can't help someone who refused to be helped. A lot of us, when I deal with mental issues, mental illness, mental disorders, bipolar, when I deal with these certain topics, a lot of us are dealing within those areas, but we won't admit it because we think someone is calling us crazy. So it won't be right now. It definitely won't be many of us that will go into that room, in that place, in that building you're talking about, because a lot of us don't understand. Watch this right here. A lot of us don't understand that mentally we are enslaved. That's why when Sister Harriet Tubman opened that building up that you're talking about, see, the building been open. Harriet Tubman opened that building up a long time ago. And she said, let's go into that building. But a lot of the slaves, they didn't even realize that they had and that they was enslaved. See, your building already been open. It been open many years ago. That's why I'm telling you right now today, a lot of us are still stuck in history mentally because we don't even know that we should be reprogrammed. That's why we was talking about, I don't know which show we did when I was talking about coming out of that cage. See, when we come out of that cage and go into that building you open up, that building comes with accountability and responsibility. We're not ready for that.
Exactly.
That's your building. So I got that building. And so you got to understand that we're not going into that building because we still have that same 1620 mindset. We still have it. We still have it, coach. That's why we won't come into that building where you can go in there and instantly get reprogrammed. We don't see nothing wrong. She couldn't get them out of that barn to travel with her because they had been enslaved for so long to mentally. They didn't see anything wrong. We fine here. We good. So we have a certain audience and we won't be able to get everyone. We'll
I
just
believe
be able
that.
to get,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
understand? And I'm just trying to get, it's a certain audience, a certain group of people that we're trying to reach. And those are the ones who are ready to leave that place and go into that building.
Good.
But you can't get around it. It all goes back to history and our mindset right now today. I just want the family, just want everybody to think about it. I got you. I definitely agree. And we're not ready. A majority of us, that's why you don't see nothing happening. Because a majority of us is not ready to go into that building. Because we're not ready to come out of that cage. Because we're here. We're still mentally enslaved right now in 2024. It all stems from history. I don't care how we look at it today. Yeah, you can do this. Yeah, you can learn that. Yeah, you can do this. You don't have to do this. Yeah, but if you enslaved, they don't see what a free mind sees. An enslaved mind, see, you and I see things. So that's why when I'm doing certain topics and I'm thinking about certain things, I have to look at it on both sides. Because if I just looked at it my way, hell, I wouldn't even be on here talking. Because I'm like, hell, everybody ought to be
Yeah, I
free.
got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Why you still doing it? So I'm trying to let the ones that are enslaved know what's going on, what has happened, what's going on with you. Hell, I know what's going on. But if I just looked at it my way, I wouldn't even be on here talking to you because I'm like, shit, I'm good. They got to get it. But my concern and my compassion for my people, I'm trying to share it with them that they need to be reprogrammed as well as myself had to be reprogrammed because I was in the religion, in the politics. I come from my family, the same as their families come from. I could have had that same slavery mentality, but I decided to look at it differently. And I'm trying to show people who just look at it one way and just locked into one way. I'm trying to let them know that there are other ways to look at it as well. Whether you agree, whether they say, well, you know what, I'm gonna come on, I'm just telling them, look at it another way. You don't even, if you don't want to change, that's on you. But at least look at it another way. That's all. When you're looking at Jesus, you got go ahead on. What you got?
But I'm saying that could be the scary thing. People look at it and see it another way and realize if I adapt to that, I gotta change. I ain't ready for all that.
And see,
What about the folks around me? How they gonna see me? You know, a lot of people, they might not want to admit it, but a lot of people do what they do, say what they say in order to please people around them. And if
absolutely,
those people don't agree with what they're doing, then they wouldn't do it. Even though they know it might be good for them, they wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm just being real.
absolutely. I'm with you.
So-called grown folks, man.
Absolutely. And once again, and I'm glad you said what you just said, that goes to how they think.
Yep.
That, so you can't get away
Yep.
from that mindset. You
Yep.
got to get to the point where if you know you're doing something right, you don't give a damn what they think. But
Yep.
you got so many people who are so concerned mentally about what someone else think about them. And that's why they can't get
Yep.
to the next level in life because they got that same old, and it's an old thinking that now, baby, you ought to been and grew out of that. You shouldn't worry about, because if you sit around and you worry about what other people think about you and you trying to better yourself, I promise you, you will never get better. You will never
Yep.
get
You're
better.
right about that.
So that's why we have to take us in as an individual and begin to work on ourselves and begin to work on our mindset, something that I know coming from the community I come from and working with us, that is something that we never address, and that's our mental state. And what we're talking about now is our mental state that haven't been addressed, and we don't know how to activate our mental state to define, imagine, or envision where we want to be and where we want to go in life, and how to connect it to our spirit, that which dwells within us, that'll give us the discipline and the self-control and the tenacity to get there. That's why I'm trying to help us right now as a people to let us know that there have to be a connection. And one of the biggest problems that we're going through right now as a people, that we're disconnected and we got a lot of mental slavery going on. And that's one of the reasons that in the Black community, we are not doing well, because a lot of us are stuck in the past and our mental state is not well. I'm done with that for today, Coach. You got 2 minutes, and I'll come back next week and we'll finish it up, but you could close us out. That went too fast.
We did a piece. We did a piece not too long ago, and we talked about one of the things we as a community don't want to hear. And we both agree the truth, you know. So all of that ties into what we're talking about. You know, basically everything we spoke about, you know, ties into just about every episode, really. We just talking about life, man. We talking about life. We talking about evolving. We talking about us as Black folks being able to be better than we are today, better for the next generation, for the generation to be better than we are right now. That's all we're talking about. And if, you know, the attention is so small, then that says a whole lot. I believe actions speak louder than words, man. I really believe actions speak louder than words. That says a whole lot, you know. So all that is doing, lack of response, is condoning what we're talking about. It's condoning, yeah, we right. We right. Because if we were not right, it would have been a flood. It would be full, you know, saying a whole lot of stuff. That's not happening, you know. You gotta have balance in life, man. There's a place for entertainment, there's a place for socializing, all that, but you still a spiritual being in a physical body. And you can't tell me, if you dwell in this society, when you look around, it don't make you feel some kind of way. When you look at the condition of people that look like you, the majority of people. Granted, a lot of us doing great. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm talking about the majority.
Coach, you're
They're
gonna have
not.
to hold that. You're gonna have to hold that. And we're gonna come back later and we're gonna finish this up.